Mass media. What are the most influential factors in the world? How do people know what's happening around the world? Yes, if you answered the internet, TV or newspapers, you are right. The overall name for all of these is mass media, that distributes content to the masses. We can compare it to a curious neighbour who knows everything about everybody and is happy to spread gossip around. Dear listeners, let us dig into the topic of our everyday source of entertainment and information.
Sloboda je kľúčom k nezávislosti. No, čo sloboda znamená pre teba? Štvorka ťa nebude obmedzovať. Sloboda pre mladých nie je len paušál. Sú to otvorené dvere do nového slobodného života. Tak daj záväzky bokom a prejdi do štvorky. Voľné minúty, SMS-ky a mobilné dáta dostaneš už za 4 € mesačne a to bez viazanosti. Všetko vyriešiš pohodlne na webe slobodapremladých.sk alebo v mobilnej appke Moja štvorka. Stačí, aby si mal potvrdenie o štúdiu. Tak na čo ešte čakáš?
Mass media refers to an array of media technologies that reach a large audience via mass communication. What does this definition mean in reality? When you wake up in the morning, you almost immediately connect to a Wi-Fi network and check your messages and news about the world, the current situation, and the weather. While getting dressed, you turn on the radio and get minute-by-minute information about traffic jams, political restrictions, or even gossip about your favourite celebrities. What can you do if you're tired of listening? There is a simple solution. The press provides you with a printed or electronic version of the hottest news, and you can comfortably read all the things you are interested in at home, work, or on the bus. However, the printed media are dying out and are considered old-fashioned. They are slowly being replaced by electronic versions that are usually free or require registration for particular portals. When someone says newspapers, most of us imagine an old man sitting in an armchair with a tobacco pipe, holding a large format serious newspaper. Whenever he reads any interesting information, he nods his head and mutters something incomprehensible. Typical newspapers for Slovakia sold in newspaper stores are Pravda or Hospodárske noviny, full of political reports, economic columns and sports news. Great Britain is known for broadsheets that have the reputation of containing high-quality articles without meaningless pictures and titles. The main sources of serious information are The Times or The Guardian. Their articles are factual, dealing with the current situation in society, analysing political scenes and substantial matters related to everyday life. On the other hand, magazines are usually associated with women sitting by the pool with a drink browsing at pages. Magazines for women usually consist of new fashion trends, relationship advice, and horoscopes. We can't forget about other types of magazines for men, science journals, as well as magazines dedicated to a particular field of interest. Special interest magazines are for groups of people who have a passion for gardening, psychology, history, or interior decoration. Magazines offer new trends, research, and tips for their readers. The hottest news about celebrities and scandals with misleading titles are published in tabloids that provide gossip at first hand. The Slovak Nový čas or the British The Sun or The Mirror draw readers' attention with scandalous paparazzi photos, big pictures and eye-catching covers that guarantee better sales. Human interest stories and various dramas are enjoyable for those who are probably lacking drama in their own lives. Newspapers and magazines are published at various intervals according to their periodicity. Some come out weekly, some monthly, and if you are an impatient reader, there are some published daily to give you a daily dose of various information. Why are electronic versions of newspapers and magazines becoming more popular? The reason for this is obvious. The electronic version is cheaper, more ecological, and available to almost everyone. The feed is easily uploaded and spreads faster than the paper version. The number of hits is higher and becoming more popular, which guarantees success for the particular portal. Nowadays, readers subscribe and follow their favourite papers for enjoyable and accessible reading. Another form of spreading information is electronic media. Radio is still very popular in Slovakia, mainly among older generations. The radio has always played an important role, especially during the World Wars, when people from occupied countries could listen to news from foreign broadcasts. Their own sources were irrelevant and unreliable, including during the communist era, and this is the reason why people had to listen to other forbidden broadcasts to know about the outside world. The radio has been a representative of fun and education. Several channels offer various talk shows, discussions, interesting facts, and recordings of theatre plays. Radios are popular for presenting new hits, played so often that you can't get the melody out of your head. Popular stations in Slovakia like Express or Fonoradio are commercial stations providing funny stories and programs to entertain their listeners. On the other hand, Radio Slovensko is a serious source of facts, both general and specialized, from different areas like music, art, technology or history. What do you usually turn on when you come home after a long day? Television is quite a useful tool for filling the silence in the living room when you are at home alone with the evening news. But every channel has morning and evening news that informs its audience about important situations. These channels also present films and shows that aim to entertain and gain viewers. The Slovak channel Teatri is dedicated to news and programs concerning art and facts. There are thousands of channels, and it is up to you to decide which one is worth watching, depending on your interest and mood. The online world offers an opportunity to listen to podcasts on different websites, as well as online conferences from political discussions. Podcasts are becoming popular among your generation and encourage listeners to broaden their knowledge in different fields. You can choose topics you are interested in and be entertained or educated. Access to podcasts is available in applications like Spotify or others. There are many ways of staying informed and entertained, and the choice is only up to us. Dear listeners, if you want to know more about mass media, just stay with us a little longer. Advertising is the most important factor in marketing, selling products and journalism. Commercials are powerful tools that influence particular categories to which the commercials are dedicated. Adverts that catch the eye and present the products in the best light force the audience to buy them. People are often tired of long advert breaks on TV during films, and that's the reason why they decide to sign up to Netflix or other streaming channels. Commercials appear in newspapers, on the radio, and they also jump out at you on the internet while reading or watching videos on YouTube. The internet adverts that appear to you represent products and interests you supposedly like, and show you products which might be useful for you. Journalism is a very interesting job. However, not everyone is successful in this field. It is a stressful job, requiring creativity, flexibility, and a special kind of wit. If you want to know more about the history of journalism, a funny book by Terry Pratchett called The Truth might be a good start. As we know, everything has both advantages and disadvantages. Mass media enables the supply of news feeds and information in a very quick way. This area is wide and unlimited. Even though we are dependent on newly reported posts, there is, unfortunately, enough space for the breeding of misinformation, fake news, and conspiracy theories. All these negative factors influence the audience that is often confused by the two sides of the news, and this chaos evokes uneasiness and sometimes even provokes riots. The mass media should realize that its power controls the public's judgment and people's voices. Recipients must differentiate which messages are true and which are fake. Sorting news might be difficult for every age category, especially for small children, and parents should help them to develop a critical sense to function properly in the area of mass media and social media. Immediate, unexpected situations like natural disasters are called breaking news, and they are presented by channels on TV or radio to inform people about the seriousness of the particular circumstances. The news on TV is also updated at 5 p.m, but the main broadcasting time for the news is at 7 p.m. However important the news is, it probably does not meet the requirements for prime time, when the largest number of people are watching the TV. TV shows full of intrigues and drama arouse the interest of the audience and become the channel's most popular programs. Dear listeners, you are in close contact with the mass media every day. The option of reading articles, listening to the news on the radio, or podcasts, as well as getting to know breaking news from the internet. All this enriches you, but be careful. Sort out the useful from the useless news. Decide what you believe and gain as much knowledge in current events as possible. Thank you very much for listening, and we hope you listen to us again soon. Subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, and write a comment on YouTube. Tell your friends about us, and stay safe.